Welcome back, everybody. This is Cesar Rocha. I'm your host for I'm Blanking. And today we are on episode 8. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we've come this far. And we've talked about a lot of things so far. And I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the show. And I've been getting a little bit more views and comments and watch time. So I appreciate everybody that came in and watched it and that's subscribed to the channel and everything like that. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on any podcast station that you listen to. And we are also on TikTok, and we are also on YouTube at I'm Blanking. So go ahead and check that out. Do want to make a quick announcement now that Halloween is over. A friend and I are hosting a motorcycle Christmas toy drive. That's going to be December 14th. That's going to be from 2 to 5 p.m. And that's going to be at my office in Whittier. If you want the information, go ahead and comment on the video and I can go ahead and send the link for everything. If you want to find it on Eventbrite, we did make a event on there. You can just look up motorcycle Christmas toy drive and just look at the date, December 14th, and it should be posted there, and it's all free tickets. Just come on and hopefully you can bring a toy, an unwrapped toy, and kind of share the joy of Christmas and motorcycles and community. I'm doing it more because my friend had asked me to, and we had done a motorcycle cruise in August. I did not ride. I do not ride at all, but I do love motorcycles. I do love the community. I love the environment. I especially love the loud motorcycle exhaust and everything like that. So he wanted to kind of help me out and try to promote my business and also to kind of promote his. He has another great YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in motorcycles and things like that. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Let's see here. Yeah. So if you want to go follow him, it's going to be Ride with Street Bob B. And it's all one word, just like I said it, Ride with Street Bob B. He has a great YouTube channel. He just went to Kernville a few weeks ago, and he just went to a swap meet. He's been getting amazing views and a ton of love from the community. And he's also trying to kind of create his own little motorcycle society brands, some t-shirts, hats, things like that. So it's kind of cool for us to kind of combine and then do it at my office and try to both of us get more familiar with the community, more networking, everything like that. So December 14th, 2 to 5. If you want the information, I can send it to you or just look it up on Eventbrite. Like I said, motorcycle Christmas toy drive. You should be able to find it and pop it up. So that's something that's new and exciting. That's going to be happening really fast in about 40 something days or so. So that's going to be exciting. Let's see. We had a pretty successful weekend. Friday was Halloween. I hope everybody was safe and had great costumes and everything like that. Me and my wife, we decided to kind of stay in. The things that were happening were kind of a little bit too far for us, and deciding whether to drink, to drive, costume, and all these other things, it just kind of a little bit overwhelming. Especially my wife still had to work on Friday because that's just when Halloween landed. So she was kind of pretty tired from the day too. But we did do a little bit of shopping because we were going to have friends over on Saturday. So we did do that. We did a little bit of shopping, get everything ready, and then we stayed in. We got, Krispy Kreme and Froyo, and we watched The Sixth Sense. That was the first time that I had watched it from the beginning all the way to the end. I think I've just always caught it kind of at some middle part. I think towards the end, kind of like the last kind of few chapters where he was meeting the little girl whose mother was like poisoning her. So that's kind of where I always like like watched it from. But I was also very kind of little back then, maybe even like a small teenager, and so it was kind of scary at that time. But rewatching it, oh my gosh, it was not scary at all. It was more thrilling than anything else, and such a good movie. And the end, oh my gosh, it was just really great. Wife fell asleep, but that's usual. So it's usually me just left watching whatever we put on. So yeah. And then Saturday we had two of our friends over, a couple, and then we had pizza and some drinks, and the Dodgers. Nice. Yes, we did it. I'm not a big sports fan. I played sports in high school, and when I was younger, I played basketball, soccer. I did shot put. I play handball, all that stuff. But I was never really into watching sports. I didn't understand like the enjoyment of watching sports. My dad would watch sports. I was always more of like I want to watch a cartoon, or I want to watch something else, or at that time, oh my gosh, I think it was like PS1 was out. I think my neighbor had PS2, and so yeah, it was just, I never really got into it. So we watched it though, and I understood the excitement of watching it, but I still wouldn't go out of my way to like start watching sports, basketball or whatever. If it's on, and like, or it's like a party, or if we're at a restaurant, yes, I'm gonna tune in. I'm just a big television person, where if it's something on TV, I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be looking at it, whether interested or not. So yeah, congrats on the Dodgers. That was awesome. I watched it from, I think, the 4th inning all the way up to, what was it, like the 11th inning or something like that. So yeah, really exciting game. Good job. Yeah. So we did that. And then I think it was Sunday, I had an open house. So I did an open house in Pico. That was really good. First hour, super ridiculously slow. Excuse me. And me and my lender that was there, we were like, oh man, like it might be one of those weekends. And, sometimes I kind of feel bad because I asked him like if he wanted to come. And, it's opportunity for both of us. And it's kind of like that thing too. It's like if I bring a lender on for the open house, it's like if I do get anything from that open house and he leads, then I would obviously go to them. So, lenders are always good to have, especially open house. You always want to at least have 2 people there. Maybe you and another agent, you and, somebody in one of your affiliates. It's just always better. I mean, obviously safety in numbers too. But yeah, it's always good because he's a really good speaker and he's really educated. So it's sometimes good to kind of hand off clients, or like, hey, do you have any questions? Things like that. Anyways, so we ended up having like about 5 clients, and the weirdest thing had happened to me. And I'm not sure if they went through with it or not, but it was the first time that I've ever encountered it at an open house. So we're there, and we're like, okay, we got some action. Like 2 people are coming. They walk in, young couple. It was kind of cool because it was Sunday and they were dressed in their Raider gear. So obviously, that they're who they're representing. And so really nice couple. Introduced myself. I was like, here's the flyer, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh no, like we already saw it last week. We were in the area and we saw that the open house was going on again. So we wanted to come in. And pretty much what she said was, I wanted to come in to tell you that I'm going to be putting an offer in on this place. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's awesome. And then so she was like, yeah, like we just wanted to come back in and see if it was busy and pretty much just tell you that we're going to be putting an offer in. And so I was like, jokingly, I was like, okay, then. So I guess you're telling me I should just like shut the doors, close the open house, and like I'll just go home, like you're gonna buy it. And we all just started laughing, and it was really cool. And we chatted a bit, oh, that's awesome, like your lender, and you have your approval, yes, obviously yes. And then okay, you're confident with your agent to put your offer in, things like that. Like yep, like we're all pretty much set, like everything's good. This is the house that we want. They're moving from Southgate to Pico, which is pretty nice, and they're moving into a decent first starter home. It's a 2-1. It was only about 850 square feet, but it was just the two of them. They have no kids, and they were pretty young. So that's a great start right there. A 2-1, no kids, 850 square feet. The lot was about 6,000 square feet, so definitely a lot of room to, especially in the backyard. So yeah, that was just like a strange thing. I was like, I've never had that happen to me. I've had it happen in the car business where maybe I'm showing a client a vehicle and then somebody else comes in and they're like, oh, are you selling this car? Because this is the one I came in for. And in the car business, it's kind of like, well, yes, I am showing this car. This client is interested in the car, and yeah, we might be working a deal on it. Yeah, that's happened to us plenty of times. It's just one of those things, you know. So that was pretty good. So that was the end of the weekend, and then right now, currently, I'm finishing up the process to get notarized, pretty much, I guess, or get sworn in. So I've received everything now. I sent some mail back yesterday to get my seal. And now I just have to go get sworn in. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to do a walk-in and see kind of how long it takes. I'm okay to wait like 2 to 3 hours as long as I get it done. The next available appointment wasn't until next Monday. So if they deny me and I just have to make an appointment, I'll just make the appointment and just say, F it, at least I tried. But that's what I'm going to do as well. Try to get that done. And then, so yeah, now we're here. And I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of some of the comments that I've been getting on my YouTube. My TikTok has been so-so with like views, comments, likes. On my YouTube page, my shorts have been getting a lot of interactions, which is really good. So I'm kind of seeing where I'm getting the more views from as far as consistently posting on, trying to promote this podcast and things like that. So it's kind of been cool to kind of see it from the start to kind of see where it's been growing so far. My hours played has been really good. My views have been really good. I'm on like 4 subscribers. So, if you guys can help me out, like I said, on TikTok or on YouTube, just like search I'm Blanking, just give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe to it. That'd be amazing. But I do want to go over and try to go over some of the comments that I've been getting. Because I just want to clarify a few things from the comments that I've received. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. So I did a video, I was in my last podcast, so maybe they didn't hear the whole thing. Obviously, most people don't, right? We just see the shorts and kind of just take whatever conversation is and, just think about it our own way. But I made a video about bad credit clients going into dealerships, and the clip was pretty much just like, we feel, I mean, at least for me, I feel bad that, that somebody that doesn't have good credit, we can kind of take a little bit more advantage of that client. And I say we because we as the dealership, and I don't want to say I because, and I'll get into that. So anyway, so I made that video and saying that like, yeah, we can make a lot of money on them. But at the same time, in the future, what are we doing to that person, right? Like we're overcharging them. The deal's approved, so that's not an issue. Maybe they can't afford it later. Maybe it's just stretching out their budget, more than they wanted. And then now we kind of cornered them and stuff like that. But I had a comment. Let me see if I can open up really quick. Oh my God. I don't know why it's doing this. It doesn't show the comments after I open the video, but let me see. But the full story of that is, let me see here. I don't know why it's bugging out, but I had 2 comments on it. So it's like pretty much like people were saying like, oh, you guys are so, you feel so bad, but you're taking their money and you're ruining their lives, like blah 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 blah, right? And yeah, I mean you are right, but the whole story is, at least for us salesmen in the car business, when we start asking those approval questions, when we start like pre-approving them outside, oh, okay, like I saw that you came in with this car, you trained that car in, yes, oh, okay, awesome, like, so you still have a balance, yes, I still have a balance on that car, oh, okay, how long have you had it, all that stuff, right? So then you get to like, oh, everybody's different. So when you get to the point of like, oh, how's your credit? They're gonna be like, oh, I think it's pretty good. Okay, like pretty good as like over 700, or is it like pretty good like over 650? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like last time I checked, it was like 620, 630, whatever. So yeah, that's a low score definitely for at least car shopping. So for us, putting things together, and every situation is different, but if you have a client coming in, they still owe money on a car and now they have bad credit, and then maybe you ask them, okay, well, like how much down payment are you putting towards the new car? And then it'd be like, oh, I want to put as little as I can down. Okay, is that like 1,000? Is that like 3,000? Oh yeah, maybe like 500 to 1,000. Okay, with all those 3 things in my head, I already know that this is going to be a difficult deal to get done. I already know that. And my internal thoughts are like, this is a waste of my time. Okay, it's like literally a waste of my time. I already asked like 3 very important questions. And so I already kind of know that getting this deal done is going to be long and difficult. Okay. But anyways, we go through the motions because, that could be my only client that I've had for the day. Maybe I've sold one and this could be my second one. So regardless, me as a salesman, I never really dropped clients until like till the managers would tell me drop clients. I would always treat everybody with respect. But like I said, internally, I'm like the wheels are turning where I'm thinking like, this is not going to be a deal. Anyways, so let's say we go through all the motions. Let's say we find the car. Let's say we do the credit. Let's say everything checks off, right? They're upside down. They have the bad credit and they have very little money down, right? Boom. That's my job to gather all that information. Give it all to the desk managers. Desk managers will determine whether there's a way to go or not. Now, at my dealership, it was a TO store, like a turnover. So I would turn the deal over to my manager. My manager would do all the numbers for the client, and they would negotiate with my manager. So me, I would just be sitting here, maybe on the side of my manager or just in the group. So I would just be here listening to my manager close the deal after I've gathered all the information. So that's kind of where the difference is in the story behind the 60-second story of me saying that dealerships take advantage of bad clients or of bad credit clients, because my manager will know how far to go in that deal where we can make profit, things like that. And I don't usually know, like they're not coming out to tell me like, hey, like we're going to make money on this deal, because the manager doesn't know. He has a sheet telling him that he can make money if he can close the customer on this sheet deal, but he still has to go out there and negotiate it. And at the same time, the dealership's always going to try to make money. Just like if you go to the casino, like the house always wins, right? So whether we make money or just sell the car, we won because we sold a unit, and and it could have been a fresh unit, it could have been an old unit. Regardless, we won because we sold a vehicle that day. So make money or not, we sold the vehicle. So, but at the same time, it's these customers, yes, that are in this situation because of past situations, right? Or sometimes because of past dealerships. Sometimes another dealership, F them, and then a year or two later, that client wants to get out of it, and they can't because that other dealership charged them A, B, C, and D, right? So that's where the difference is. And that's just the car business. And that's the business that I was in. And a lot of us, maybe watching have been in. And so you understand that, working with a bad credit client is difficult. It can be rewarding. But at the same time, most of us, it's not our decision to make. That's the client's decision to make. Yes, managers try to force them. They try to stick them there. They try to, do A, B, and C, or they'd be like, look, with this deal, you're going to be getting a warranty. It's already included, and it's not included. Well, it's included, but it's included at a cost. So it's just crazy how all that stuff works. But at the same time, these people make their own decisions. We may, force them, try to push them to do a certain thing, but at the same time, these are grown adults that, can make their own decisions and step away from the deal, right? They're the ones that came into our store. It's not like we called them to come in. They came into our store, and, my managers that have been doing this for 25 years, when I was doing it for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years and growing my knowledge, we know how to work with these type of clients, And sometimes, to be honest, these people that, are not in the best situations, at the end of the day, they got a vehicle that they really loved. And a lot of the time, they're extremely happy. They're extremely happy that they got it done. They're extremely happy that they got this car. Maybe it was just a goal of theirs to get out of their current situation to a new car. And sometimes they come in and, they're friendly, and I still have a lot of contact with a lot of my clients that I've had, even that I've sold new cars to, used cars. They call me, they see how I'm doing, or I call them, see how they're doing, and they're totally fine. Sometimes they're not. Yeah, but that's just because, maybe something happened in their life, or, they got into a little fender bender and things like that. But at the same time, that's just how it is. So I just wanted to clarify a little bit on that video of what really goes down through the whole process, where, we're not just, taking advantage of every client, because every client is different. But, usually those bad credit clients, it's difficult, like I said, but it could be rewarding. So, it's kind of was a double-edged sword kind of thing. Like, it's good, you sold the car, but then at the same time, maybe you went a little too far. But it wasn't me. I promise you, it wasn't me. I only did my first job, and then my manager comes in and closes the rest of it. So that's it. I wanted to as well. There was another video. Let me see if the comments can pop up. I don't know why they didn't pop up on this first one here. This guy, I was just kind of talking about, it's tough to be a buyer, to buy certain things, whether that's cars, whether that's, houses or things like that. Well, a really good example, I had a family come in on the open house this past weekend, just kind of asking them very simple qualifying questions. And then I asked them, I was like, when are you guys going to be deciding that you want to buy? And he's like, we're thinking about like next year or so and things like that. And I was like, okay. I was like, do you know like how much you're going to be putting down and like how much you want to budget for like the price of the house? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I think I know what I can afford. And, I think we'll be okay. And, I've heard that quite often. And usually it's because they're not educated, or they haven't gone through the process of getting pre-approved, especially for a house, because people are like, I make this amount, I should be okay. But at the same time, you have to think about all your debts. You have to think about, the money up front that you're going to be putting for the property. And so sometimes just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you can afford it. I mean, if you have car loans are the worst, just because, some car loan, I think I made a comment last week. It was like cars are like $50,000 right now, plus tax, plus interest, all that stuff. It's crazy. So, I mean, car loans are the worst just to have on your debt. So, until you kind of get in there and finalize it. But anyway, so I was talking about that and about how buying things is hard and how you should, use like a professional in real estate like myself to kind of help answer those questions, or to kind of help guide you to better answers, or to guide you to get to the point of buying, a property. Because a lot of lenders, they don't just try to get you approved. They look at all your, funds and all your paperwork and stuff like that, and they can kind of put you on a plan to get you ready to buy. Maybe like, okay, in 6 months, if you, pay down this debt or whatever the case may be, we'll be ready to go. You'll have a stronger purchasing power, things like that. And then it was like also for like, cars. It was like how to buy, new cars or even used cars. I was kind of quickly just saying like, you can always reach out to me. You can comment on the video if you're like in Southern California. You can you can follow me on my like real estate page, things like that, and you can always reach out to me and I can get you quotes. And this gentleman or this person was like, oh, you bring no value to this, like that's what the internet's for, things like that. And you're correct. Yeah, like the internet's pretty good. Like you can go on Zillow, you can go on Redfin, you can look at the house, you can look at the estimates. But me being in the business now for 2 years, those numbers are usually way off. They don't calculate everything. They're not super accurate. Some people look at it and they're like, oh, okay, like this is affordable. And then they talk to a lender and they're like, well, why is this different from what I've seen online, things like that. So there's a difference. And, most lenders are here to help you out, to have that conversation. They're, there to kind of give you an estimate of what you can get approved for. And you can kind of do that without having to run credit a lot of the times. But onto the car side too, he's like, well, you could just look at the internet. That's what the internet's for. Yes, you're right. The internet is for shopping, right? You can go to 5 different Toyota websites. You can go to 4 different Honda websites. But what I've been noticing on those websites is that a lot of places are not stating like the selling price of the car these days, or at least down here in SoCal. I've tried going to websites. Now, some websites do, yes, but I'm just saying some of the Toyota ones, you go on the website, it'll just show an MSRP, and you have to like click 3 or 4 times to actually find the pricing or the window sticker or things like that. A lot of stuff is like there on display, but it doesn't show you exactly what price they're selling the vehicle for. And I think they're allowed to do that. I mean, they can show the MSRP, but that doesn't mean that's what they're going to sell it for. Yeah, they could have rebates, things like that. Our dealership that we worked at, we had a really good website, but it also was a difficult website for us because it would show obviously the selling price of the vehicle. And, we would get that a lot. Like clients would come in and you'd be like, oh, like, well, I want the price that's online. And then for me, obviously I have to try to upsell, try to show them the benefits of these products that we sell. Just the whole sales thing. It just got tiring. And that obviously that's why it was one of the reasons of why I left. But yeah, you have to do the whole shebang, right? And so anyways, what I'm trying to say is, yes, you can go online, but once you actually go to the dealership, that's where your real shopping process begins, because now you have to deal with a salesman. You have to, have an educated salesman. You have to look at the vehicle, make sure it's the right car. You have to say, okay, well, what's the price? And then you got to say, oh, I want the price that I seen online. Most of the time, these dealerships obviously don't just say, oh, okay, yes, like let's shake hands. We'll do the price online. Let's do the paperwork and let's move forward. That's usually doesn't happen. That doesn't happen like at all. And so, you have to kind of go through the process with the manager, and then they're going to try to mark it up, and then they're going to try to maybe do more on the interest rate. All these things are going to happen, right? Then you go into finance, and then finance tries to sell you warranty, tire protection. They try to sell you gap insurance, all that stuff, right? So what happens if you use like an auto broker like myself is I get you all the numbers. I do all like the numbers part. I contact the dealerships that we're partnered with. I get the information for you. I give you the lowest one. And that is probably the easiest and best way to do it. And the reason why is because I do all the research. I get you the best number that they give me. And then everything's packaged up and ready to go. You don't have to go to finance. This fleet manager does all the packaging. So when we get to the dealership, yes, you test drive the car, you make sure you like it. And then from there, if you like it, then boom, his assistant or usually the fleet manager themselves, they have the whole stack of papers for you to sign. There's no going into finance, nothing like that. Nothing's added on. There's no higher interest rate. There's no extended warranty. There's no gap unless you want it. If you want those things, then yes, you would have to kind of let me know, and then he can add it in for you, of course. But other than that, it's a pretty sign and go process. So that's kind of the value that me being an auto broker is that you save a lot of time, you save a lot of headache, and you get what you want at a good price, and you move forward. So that's kind of the two things that I wanted to clear up from some of the comments that I was getting, but which is good. I like to have these conversations. I wish I could have more. I definitely want to kind of dive deeper into some of the topics that I talk about, and yeah, that's what I did. But anyways, those were the things I wanted to kind of clear up, and let me see how much time we have left. Okay, so we just have a few minutes. So just a reminder, if you're kind of tuning in late, or if you're still here, December 14th, it's a Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m. I'm hosting with one of my good friends. We are hosting a motorcycle toy drive event. Expectations would be motorcycles. Family and friends, they bring whoever. We're going to have food. We're going to have like drinks, like just like soft drinks, things like that. We're going to have cookies. We're thinking of playing a movie inside of the office because it's at my brokerage. We do have like a pretty good office space with a projector and stuff like that. So I'm thinking of just putting a movie on. I think he may be getting a backdrop made, so that way we can take pictures and stuff like that, which will be pretty cool. We did get sponsored by Law Tigers. Shout out to Juan. Thank you very much, my man. So my buddy set that up. He's been getting bigger in the motorcycle community, so he's been getting to know a lot more companies. And Law Tigers is kind of sponsoring the event for us. They're going to be putting in a little bit of raffle gift cards. They're going to be doing like a booth there, and they're here for the community, they're here for the event, so it's going to be really good. What else can we expect? My buddy's trying to do some games, maybe like tug of war, or like the slow straight line race, something like that. I've seen some videos about it. It's been pretty cool. Other than that, it's kind of like just like a little hangout spot. We're not too sure of what the weather is going to be like, but we're hoping for at least cloudy but not rainy, and it's going to be a little bit cold because it's going to be in the afternoon, like 2 to 5. So we're thinking about doing all that, and then my buddy's going to have a booth, the one that I'm doing the event with. He's going to be having some of his shirts and hats and things like that out there. He might have some stuff for sale. So it's going to be a good event. We're hoping for a lot of people to come by. We're hoping for a lot of donations. We will be donating the majority of the toys. We will be donating to the Boys and Girls Club for La Habra and Whittier. And then we personally know some families that may need some gifts. So we're also gonna just kind of get a little bit of toys, and then we're also gonna give that to some of our close friends and families that are in kind of a need for this season. So that's gonna be really good. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later.